Spring selling season is just around the corner, and that means buyers will soon be coming onto the market to shop for homes. If you're a homeowner who's been thinking of selling, now is the time to prepare if you want to reach the largest number of buyers. If you're still on the fence about selling, we'll show you how you can use market data to determine whether 2025 is a good time to sell for you. Not only will we cover market conditions, but we'll also look at factors like home equity and how that can affect your decision. We'll go over the overall pros and cons of selling this year, and you'll want to watch to the very end for the best time of year to kick off your home listing according to our data. Hi, I'm Skylar Olson, Chief Economist at Zillow, and this is Market Trends, where each month I'll help you unpack what's happening in the housing market. And because knowledge is power, we're going to talk about what you can do about it if you're shopping or selling. Selling a home is a big deal, so much so that people can spend years thinking about it before deciding to list. Unfortunately, life doesn't give most of us that much time to think. Whatever your circumstances, there's a lot to consider, and a lot depends on the local market where you're selling. That's where we can help. We have the data to guide you as you decide whether to move and how to approach it. First, let's talk about home equity. If you bought your home before 2020, you've probably got a ton of equity in your home. Equity refers to the portion of home value you actually own. And home values are up 44% compared to before the pandemic. So the vast majority of current homeowners earned bonus home equity just from sitting and owning a home and as price appreciated. In some places, that's some serious wealth bonus. And that could give you wiggle room when choosing a list price and negotiating with buyers. The extra equity will also help you cover the costs related to selling, like closing costs, agent commissions, and any home improvements needed before you list. And you can tap that equity for the down payment if you're planning to buy a home after you sell. First-time home buyers have no such advantage, so it's a big one. Now let's talk about whether you're in a buyer's or a seller's market. Knowing whether your market favors buyers or sellers can help you craft a selling strategy and help set expectations around the price and how quickly you're likely to find a buyer. While much of the US is in neutral territory, there are still plenty of sellers markets out there. Among the strongest are Rochester, San Francisco, and Hartford, Connecticut. A lot because there's so little inventory. Buyers markets are out there too. Cape Coral, Florida, McAllen, Texas, and Scranton, Pennsylvania, to name just a few. If you're selling, you should understand that selling for top dollar is not a given, even in a seller's market, and that working with a good agent to develop a selling strategy can help you get the best return. Finally, let's talk inventory and how this influences conditions for sellers. New listings have surged in some markets, and inventory overall has risen nationwide. The number of homes for sale in the US rose almost 18%. Cities like Portland, Seattle, Denver, and San Francisco are the markets seeing the fastest rise in new listings this year. If you're planning to sell this year, more listings mean you face more competition from other sellers. But if you're planning on buying after, more listings makes that easier. Talk to an agent in your market to gauge the competition and determine whether it's a good time to make your move. And it could be different if you're looking to move up to a larger home or downsize to a smaller one. Your agent can illuminate what kind of homes are easier to access in your area. So, what are some of the potential upsides of selling in 2025? 1, home values are up in 42 of the nation's 50 largest markets. That means more equity, of course, but the rate of growth is also important. Slower growth could be good for sellers because it helps ensure that there's a competitive pool of buyers for your home. Buyers have really struggled as home prices and interest rates have increased. Slower growth can help keep their home buying budgets on track. 2, you can stay ahead of the competition. The number of homes for sale has been growing steadily, but competition competition among sellers is still so far limited. The limited inventory compared to the buyers who want a home is why there aren't more buyers markets around the country. Well-priced homes are selling quickly, but that's likely to stretch out further as more listings come online. 3, more markets still favor sellers than buyers. If you're in a seller's market or even a neutral one, you're less likely to have to give buyer concessions to close a deal. What are some of the potential downsides of selling in 2025? 1, finding a new home could be challenging. Although more listings are coming online in the US, sellers markets still outnumber buyers markets. You could have difficulty finding a home that works for you after you sell your last one. And if you're moving from a less expensive market to a more expensive one, it could be difficult to find an affordable home. In that case, you may want to wait until you've saved more for a down payment on that next home or for when interest rates drop. 2, let's say you have lots of unfinished projects. Unfinished projects or necessary repairs may require time and investment before selling. If you don't have the skills, the time, or the money to tackle them, you may have a harder time selling your home, and you could be selling for less than you'd receive if you were able to bring the house to move-in condition. 3, you live in a strong buyer's market. Selling in a buyer's market could make it harder to sell for the price you want or think you need. You also may be asked for seller concessions, such as paying buyer closing costs or setting aside money at closing to pay for those needed repairs. If you decide to sell this year, there are steps you can take. Finding a good agent to help you assess the market and hit on a good price that reflects the dynamics in your local market is super important. Talk with your agent about the best time to sell. When we crunched the numbers, we found that the best time to sell is spring, specifically the first 2 weeks of June. Think about it. That's when you're more likely to sell the quickest and for the most money. The best time varies among local markets. For instance, in Baltimore, the first half of July is the optimum, while in Cincinnati, listing the second half of April, getting in there early, will be the best for the greatest return. Selling during those times can result in thousands of dollars more. If you're gonna buy your new home, get your credit score in shape and determine your buying budget. You can track your purchasing power with Zillow Home Loans BuyAbility tool, which can also show you what falls into your affordability window and how things shift as interest rates fluctuate, which they will. Selling your home is a personal decision influenced by various factors. Consider your financial situation, local market conditions, and personal needs when deciding the best time to sell for you. And then with data and a great agent, go forward with confidence. And be sure to subscribe to our channel on YouTube and our Market Trends newsletter for all your housing market updates and data needs. And as always, good luck out there.